I'm learning Welsh, the tongue of dragons, so that I can speak to dragons. Croeso, sut dach chi? I am Carl, and this is my Lingo Kingdom, where I talk about learning the languages of the Isles, Gaelic, Nihongo, and Cymraeg. In this video, I'm going to show you just how I, all the way in North Carolina, am learning Welsh. Right, Princess Buttercup? Prynhawn da, dwi'n trio dysgu Cymraeg, dwi gweithio yn swyddfa yn bore dydd Mawrth a dydd Gwener, dwi hoffi cyrw a coffi di, ond dwi ddim yn hoffi bwyta pys, dim diolch. Dych chi'n bwyta bara caws neu mel? Dwi eisiau brecwast a gwylio teledu nawr. So that was a taste of my very shaky Welsh skills. The ways that I'm learning Welsh are a lot like how I'm learning Gaelic. And if you haven't seen that video and you're interested in Gaelic, Scottish Gaelic, you can click up here and see that as well. I'm learning, of course, first and foremost with Duolingo. Now, as I've talked about in some of my other videos, since I'm learning Japanese and Gaelic and Cymraeg, I'm actually using Duolingo for all of those. But I would say my progress has been a lot faster with Welsh and Gaelic. And part of that is because they're Indo-European and they're so much closer to what I've studied in the past. Whereas Japanese is so completely different, it's taken a long time to make progress in that. And so, as I've talked about in my video about how I'm learning Japanese, I focus on Japanese during the weekdays, 5 days a week, and on the weekends, I focus on Gaelic and Cymraeg. And that's what I use a lot of my Duolingo for on the weekends, is for the Welsh. And it's been really helpful and really fun too. Welsh is kind of like this breath of fresh air compared to some of these other languages, especially Japanese. Because Welsh is written just like it sounds, it's kind of refreshing because it's not hard to read like Gaelic and it's not totally foreign like Japanese. Now, unfortunately, the app that I love to use for my other languages, which is Mango, does not have Welsh yet, although I am working on that. I sent them a tweet. There's another app that I'm using, which is apparently very popular also in Wales and other parts of the UK, and that is called Say Something in Welsh. And the really cool thing about that one is it's very podcast-based and audio-based, so it's a little bit like what you would think of with some of the older things where people used to learn languages with, like Pym's Lore. It breaks it up so that if you want to learn Northern Welsh or Southern Welsh. I'm trying to kind of take a balanced approach since I think Duolingo is Southern Welsh, and so I was trying going back and forth, like, should I do Say Something in Welsh in Northern Welsh or Southern Welsh? It's like, it might be more cohesive with what I'm doing in Duolingo to do Southern Welsh, but then I also want to be familiar enough with the Northern dialect to be able to understand it, since some of the vocabulary is a little different and the pronunciation is a little different. So I still haven't made up my mind completely about that. I do have some more Welsh apps that I want to test in the future. So if you want to see me review those, then leave me a comment down below and I'll do a video about all of those apps. I, of course, just like with Gaelic, love to learn through music, and the songs that have lyrics on the screen are especially helpful because it really helps me retain a lot of what I'm learning along with music. Whereas if it was just, passive in the background, it's just me getting used to the sounds and I'm not really learning too much. There's, of course, a lot of great stuff on YouTube. There's cool series about pronunciation and about vocabulary, and it's all geared toward beginners. And I'm going to leave some resources down in the description below in case you want to check those out. The one that I like the best is called Easy Welsh, and the reason why I say I like it the best is not because it's not so much a class where it says this is all of the letters and this is all of the pronunciation. It's more like it just interviews people on the street and you get to hear them speaking everyday Welsh, and that has been really kind of real fun for me since I don't live in Wales and ain't never been to Wales yet. Also, you can check out the Welsh Language TV channel, which is run by the BBC, and it's called S4C. They have a YouTube channel as well as their own website and stuff. And so all the stuff on there is all the stuff in Welsh. And they've usually got subtitles. Go to YouTube, you'll find a ton of stuff on there, all right? And that is one of the great things about learning a language in this day and age. Now, a resource that I also want to recommend that I haven't tried yet, but I want to try in the future, is an online course for beginning Welsh, especially for Northern Welsh, by Gwyneth Jones. So I'm also going to leave a link for that down in the description if you want to check out her course. I plan to add some books into the mix as well, but I don't have any books yet. But I do have a list of the books that I want to buy, which are good for introductory learners, and you can check out a link for that as well. Basically, if you want to learn Welsh, I've got a bajillion links for you, all right? So that we can all speak with the dragons. Mash that like button if you enjoyed laughing at my beginner Welsh earlier in the video. And if you are further along than me, or you're a native speaker and you want to correct me, definitely do so in the comments down below. Now, if you want to practice your Welsh or another language that you're learning with a native speaker and get a one-on-one lesson, then sign up for italki. It is an online community where you can find native speakers in your target language and have affordable one-on-one lessons with them. And I've got a link for that in the description below. Da iawn, diolch, hwyl.